my cover of the week is something I didn't know existed. And you're probably like, what do you mean? Hello everybody and welcome back into Jar's Toy Emporium. My name is Jacob and yes, it is another fantastic Wednesday, new comic book Wednesday. You guys know the drill. I'm on my lunch break heading to the comic book shop and I think it's going to be a pretty awesome week. I know we have Ultimate Spider-Man, Absolute Wonder Woman, TMNT, lots of great stuff. So without further ado, and the weather here in Florida is absolutely beautiful after last week's little bit of rain. Back at Gotham City Limit. Now, checking out the new comic book table, they did still have some of those facsimile foil covers left over from the Amazing Spider-Man, but they also did have the new issue of Amazing Spider-Man. I believe that's issue number 68. They also had these Valentine's Day-ish covers here, which were cool to see. I'm not super familiar with those, but then they had some TVA, they had some Blade, and then they had some Fantastic Four here. I was much more excited for what was on the other side of the table, though, because one of my favorite comics coming out right now is over there. But before we get to that, they have Radiant Black here. Haven't read that, but I've heard some good things, and it does have a really cool cover. But you guys are seeing what I'm seeing, TMNT issue number 7, and this one had some amazing variant covers this week, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later on in the video, but super excited to see those. Now, moving over to the other table where stuff starts to get real, Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 14, and this Craven cover is incredible, and then they also have Ultimate X-Men issue number 12 right here. They had some Star Wars, but I was also very interested in this new Red Hulk series. Now, that top cover there, the blank cover with the Red Hulk, I thought was really cool, but they have this one right here, which is One World Under Doom, kind of related. I didn't pick that up, so I figured I'd pass on that this week. Moving over to DC, they did still have some Jim Lee variants, but they also have Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 5. This cover A is incredible, and I actually think this cover A is better than the variant covers, which doesn't always happen, but is very cool. And then Justice League Unlimited, 2 awesome DC covers comics this week, and super excited to pick up both of those. And then they also did have this Godzilla vs. America, and this issue is Godzilla vs. Chicago, but I was super happy with my pickup, so I decided to head on out for the day. Just leaving Gotham City Limit, a really good week of comics, but let's head back to work. Alrighty guys, we are back in the studio. We are here with our epic week of comics, and I'm starting to have a little bit of an issue on deciding what has been the best comic week of 2025, because we have some heavy hitters this week. Last week was really great. The week before that was incredible. This is awesome. Every week is so exciting going to the comic shop. Like, it is the highlight of my Wednesdays. It's almost the highlight of my week sometimes, because the stories we are getting and the excitement level I have for them are just through the roof. So without further ado, let's talk about some of these awesome comics. Now, starting off with Marvel, and this is absolutely the best Marvel comic on the shelves right now, we have Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 14. Now, I'm hearing some crazy things about this comic. I'm hearing that the story continues to be incredible and that this might be the best issue in the entire series. So I'm so excited to get into this. I've been saying it time and time again, Absolute Batman I think is my favorite comic that I'm picking up every single week. But if the things I'm hearing about this are true, this one might take the cake, because you guys know how much I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero, and if this continues, it's already been an incredible series. But if the things I'm hearing of how good it is really are true, we might have to have a conversation. But Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 14, I am so stoked for this one. Now, keeping it in the Marvel family and also in the Ultimate Universe, we have Ultimate X-Men issue number 12. Now, I am behind on Ultimate X-Men, like I think I've told you guys in the past, and it's something I need to catch up on, but I will continue to pick up all the Ultimate stuff as long as it comes out. It has been my favorite thing, like the Absolute stuff for a new comic book reader. Having a new story I can jump right into has been super cool. So I really got into comics at a very great time with these amazing stories that we're getting, but this is a very cool cover. I didn't like the last Ultimate X-Men cover as much. It was different. It was like a black and white, and it was neat. Like, don't get me wrong, but I really do like this one. I think this one's really neat. So Ultimate X-Men issue number 12 and Ultimate Spider-Man. Anytime you get 2 Ultimate stuff in the same week, I've said that about Absolute series, and I've also said that about the Ultimate stuff. Anytime you get 2 of them in the same week, that's a pretty fantastic week. But yeah, 2 Ultimate series stuff this week, Spider-Man and X-Men, and I'm just ecstatic to have them both today. But what could make this comic week a contender with the last 2 weeks that we have? Well, you got to have some Absolute Universe stuff in there. We have Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 5. Now, this cover is incredible. I am super stoked to continue to read this as well. I love the Absolute stuff. I sound like a broken record every single week, but Absolute Wonder Woman is the icing on the cake for this amazing week with Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate X-Men. The only thing that could have made this better, and it's really not even, it's nitpicking at this point, is if this was an Absolute Batman issue with these two, I would probably just say it's the best comic week of the year. But Absolute Wonder Woman is just a little bit lower than Absolute Batman for me. I'm just enjoying Absolute Batman a little bit more. But yeah, Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 5 was an incredible pickup for this week and just makes this week that much stronger. Well, how do we continue this amazing comic week? Well, I'll tell you with the DC stuff, we have Justice League Unlimited issue number 4. Now, I told you guys the last time we picked up a Justice League Unlimited issue that I was going to catch up on it. I am caught up on it, so I'm excited to get into issue number 4. This has been a really fun series. I've been enjoying kind of seeing the Justice League and these characters that aren't in the Absolute universe. I've talked about it in the past. I've not read a lot of DC comics, so the Absolute stuff was actually the first DC comics I had ever read. So getting another look at them through a different set of eyes, a different writer, and stuff like that has been really cool. So Justice League Unlimited issue number 4, continuing to make this week a pretty awesome week. Now, one of the big things we are missing this week is a Energon Universe edition. There's no Transformers, no Void Rivals, and no G.I. Joe. But what we do have is another one of my favorite things, and that is TMNT. We have TMNT issue number 7 here. This is actually where the new story arc begins, as you guys can note right down here. Very excited about that. Excited to get into a new storyline. And if you guys haven't read them before, I guess this could be a pretty good jumping on point. But I would always recommend to go back and read the first 6 issues so you guys can understand what's happening, because I'm sure there's going to be some references moving forward, as there always are. So TMNT issue number 7 here. And then, as you guys know, we do always pick up the Kevin Eastman variants. This one looks incredible. I didn't have a chance to hunt for where the Kevin Eastman signature is. Usually he puts a little scribble on there with his name somewhere in his covers, but I really do wish he would have put it right here on the front of the pizza box that said Kevin Eastman. Thought that would have been really cool. Now, I always do pick a cover of the week, and unfortunately, my cover of the week is something I didn't know existed, and you're probably like, what do you mean? So when I got to Gotham City Limit and I was talking to Jonathan there, he's awesome, he's a big Turtles fan, he showed me the cover C variant of TMNT issue number 7, and it is amazing. So much so that I did have him order me a copy so that I could have one in my collection as well, but it's not here. Obviously, he just ordered it today. I'm going to have to wait for it, and I wish I could show it to you guys. If you guys don't want to wait to see it on the channel in the next couple weeks or whenever I get it, go check out the cover C variant of TMNT issue number 7. It is awesome. But I have some great comics here to pick from, so I'm going to let you guys know what my cover of the week is now. So after looking through my comics a little bit, I don't know what about this cover is really speaking to me, but we're going to go with the Ultimate X-Men issue number 12 for my cover of the week. Like I said, if I had that cover C variant of TMNT issue number 7, wouldn't even be close. But X-Men, or Ultimate X-Men issue number 12 here, I just like this cover. I like the colors on it. I like the 2 faces on both sides of the comic. I think that's really neat. So yeah, I think this one's very deserving of a cover of the week. I really, really like it. So there you guys go for my next cover of the week in the ever-growing list of covers of the week. Now, those are all the pickups that I have for you guys this week. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Turn on that notification bell, because we will be right back here next week for another Comic Book Wednesday. You guys can always check me out over on Instagram and TikTok. We're starting to do a little bit more exclusive content over on Instagram in particular, because I can post pictures and stuff on there. So I've been doing that a little bit more, which is really fun. But you guys can see my shorts. You guys can keep up with me on Instagram if I post something in my story. Same thing with TikTok. I post a lot of the same stuff over on there. So if you guys are interested in either of those platforms, both of those links are down in the description below. But again, thank you guys so much for watching this week's new Comic Book Wednesday, and I will see you all in the next one.